Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back.
Don't try it.
Now let's go do this quest, which is actually a DLC. And you can only do it on Iorveth's path. So let's go do it.
How do you see it? Do the gods favor Lady Saskia, as she claims?
The gods never favor rebellions that seek to topple the natural order of things.
Admit it. You'd rather not see a woman at the head of an army.
Simply don't believe it.
Saskia believes them.
They've bewitched her. Saskia the Pious? At your service.
More harpy feathers, just like you wanted.
Good work! Why, it's even a pleasure to pay you.
I gotta admit, that might have been the strangest job I've ever had.
Well, it's hardly done.
I'll hear you out, but I've got a bad feeling about this.
I need a few more feathers.
Who is it that needs them? You or this collector?
But he does, of course.
Pretty suspicious. Why didn't you tell me how many I was supposed to bring right off?
I needed to see the quality. Just a few feathers more. I'll pay extra. Decide.
Let me think about it. Wonder how many more will turn up. Guess they'll never learn. I've got some more feathers. Sleek and untattered. I hope that'll do it.
I look at them and select the finest. There's your payment, with a small bonus.
What am I supposed to do with the ones I have left?
Whatever you wish. I've no need for them. Farewell. Yes, you're beautiful, my queen, my lady. You're a wondrous sight. All in your nest envy you.
Got any other work for me? I want you to have this feather. I have no use for it.
No, thank you. Neither do I.
Neither does this collector, you mean?
Yes, neither does he.
I wonder why he needed a specific number of feathers.
Perhaps to match the number of empty spaces in his feather album.
Don't see how that would matter.
It's immensely important.
Well, I guess I don't know much about collections. Pretty warm for this time of year.
It is colder usually, isn't it?
The mages must be up to something.
Oh, yes. They devise with experiments. Always changing the world. They'll botch it one day, and it'll be the end of us, I tell you.
I shudder to even think about it.
Where are you headed?
Okay, so now we can go and do this quest. But first, let's hard save it.
Strange. I smell sulfur.
I'll say it again.
What's going on?
Humans are strange.
So for this quest we need a special item. Called surgical tools, so that we can examine the bodies.
See, when they're to marry, they become terribly picky.
Hello, Witcher.
What do you say to that?
You've answered your own question.
Humans follow adventure.
And you, my love, you trust the girl?
Ah, you've finally given in. Started killing humans. Hey, Witcher.
Started that a while ago, actually. It just wasn't something society was willing to acknowledge.
Fultus death. Society acknowledged that. You know there's a price on your head.
Yeah, I know. Too low for the risks involved, though.
It's a bundle to us, Witcher. We have to pay for everything. Weapons, food, information.
Iorveth send you?
Iorveth will never learn of this.
Don't risk it! We need to take him alive! Careful! He's killed some tough fighters! Don't risk it! We need to take him alive!
Okay, so I've left this lady for the last, because when I played this previous time, her name was Ziriel, or Tyriel. And now her name is different, which is interesting.
Eat shit and die! Come on! I'll make mincemeat of your arse! I'll make mincemeat of your arse!
Wonder how many more will turn up. Vibrating. It must be near a powerful source of magic.
Okay, we're gonna need this for a quest. So let's leave it at this spot.
monsters. Shit, you stink. This corpse is decomposed almost completely. 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 Take that.
Okay, we got new sword called Fate.
This corpse is decomposed almost completely. This corpse is decomposed almost completely. This corpse is decomposed almost completely.
Come on!
Is decomposed almost completely. This corpse is decomposed almost completely.
Who are you, and what do you seek?
Geralt of Rivia. I seek the standard of the Dun Banner.
Okay, we're gonna have to do this for another quest, so let's leave it like that. Let's focus on this quest that we have, not on that one.
Guess they'll never learn. This corpse is decomposed almost completely. 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 Damn monsters. This corpse is fresh. Someone brought it here recently. Clothing ripped in many places. Traces of sulfur. Interesting. The head's in far better condition than the rest of the body. Dark rings around the eyes, like an anemic. Just a few delicate bites on his neck. He's grasping a few long hairs in his hand. The forearms are cut up pretty badly, as if he had to defend himself. There's something embedded in the bone. A metal splinter. Interesting. Fingernail marks all over his back. At least he had some fun before he died. A book. Your body sizzled beneath my gentle caress. Sounds like Master Dandelion. These wounds, they're ripped open. Whatever attacked him was ferocious. He was young, just like the others. All the clues seem to indicate a succubus. On the other hand, there's a metal fragment in the wound. This corpse is fresh.
Come on!
Greetings, Gwynblade.
And you, my love. Do you trust the girl?
At your service.
Witcher.
Let me tell you about the woman who fell from the sky.
Look, another one.
Ach, you've told us.
You let one human in and in no time...
Calm down tomorrow.
Come on!
Stop stroking him and wrap him up! How's business? What's the rush? The place is busy like never before.
Okay, so now we can't talk to Dandelion because we're gonna have to trigger another quest.
Let me tell you.
The peasants now refuse to shovel the manure.
Regards!
Flying women.
It was very unusual.
So before we do that, I guess we can go and talk to Philippa. But first, let's see if we can do this quest.
Hello, Witcher.
Now, how can we get...
the piece, eh?
How can we get to this guy?
Oh, a witcher.
Pray tell, what compels you to disturb the Prince of Edirn, Witcher?
I have a few questions.
And you believe I should answer them instead of setting my dogs on you?
I think your Royal Highness has enough foes. Here, abroad, in Vengerberg.
The intricacies of succession are not something I wish to discuss with an itinerant monster slayer.
You might be surprised, Prince, but I have more political experience than I'd like.
The famous Geralt of Rivia, invited to the table by Calanth, Foltest's little favourite. I've heard you've even parleyed with the Emperor of Nilfgaard. Think I'm impressed? Calanth is dead. Meve curses your name when she hears it. Foltest was murdered before your very eyes, and the Emperor, as I heard it, he thought you insignificant.
Are you going somewhere with this?
Indeed. You should know that a king sometimes needs a hired thug to take care of dirtier deeds. If the thug is naive enough, instead of reaching into his purse, the king buys him with virtuous words, the flash of his rings, pledges of friendship. And when, having done his deed, the thug departs, swaggering proudly like a peacock, the king discreetly giggles. Truly, I never thought you could be so pitiful. Get out!
Okay, let's reload.
Pray tell, what compels you to disturb the...
I have a...
And you...
I think...
The...
I'm trying to figure out where this fog came from. What exactly happened here 3 years ago?
Henselt's mages committed mass murder. A dark day for the knighthood and all people of honor. But it was honor that allowed us to survive. There was no defeat. No victory. Honor stood against wickedness. Virtue against black magic.
You took part in that battle?
My father stayed in the capital. He was to defend Vengerberg. I took to the field. I wanted to stop Henselt before he crossed the Pontar, but I was too late. So I decided to await him at Vergen. Henselt's army was exhausted. We would have triumphed if not for that heinous act. Henselt had mages with him, and they cast a treacherous spell on the entire battlefield. A fiery rain fell from the heavens. Destructive, murderous embers which brought the battle to an end. I gathered the few survivors and withdrew deep into the country. The soldiers were terrified, but Henselt showed no desire to pursue.
You wrote Vergen off.
There's a place in Kedwin where orphans are subjected to cruel experiments. 9 out of 10 boys perish from the pain. Sound familiar? They say that sacrifices are necessary to create one Witcher, one hero to defend the people against monsters.
Not the best analogy.
You know nothing of military strategy, and you've never been responsible for a nation's fate, which is why I forgive you your ignorance.
Only a master mage could have cast such a powerful spell, and I suspect he could not have accomplished it alone.
I remember Sabrina Glevesig. Through the flames I saw her observing the carnage from her mount, dressed in a hunting suit. Straight-backed, dispassionate.
Sabrina. If I remember correctly, she's Henselt's advisor.
Was. Henselt condemned her to death for casting that spell. The Kedwenis roasted in their armor, just the same way the Edirnians did. You know what struck me when all hell broke loose? What I found astonishing and even amusing? Going into battle we sang our Edirnian songs. They intoned their Kedweni hymns to Creve. But when fire descended from the sky, our cries of pain were no different. We all wailed as humans. For an instant, the magnitude of the tragedy brought together our two warring nations.
I still have no idea where the spectral fog came from.
I'm afraid I don't know either.
Succession is the topic of choice in about every inn in the country. I don't know for sure, but I think the hangman of Vengerberg was the last to claim the throne.
My patience has its limits, and at present, only my respect for Lady Saskia restrains my anger. Come to the point, or leave me be.
Tell me, why are you here and not in the capital?
The influential nobles seek to undermine my rightful claim to the throne. Unrest ripples through the kingdom. Saskia has muddled the minds of the peasants, and the burghers demand more rights.
And your opponents are seizing the opportunity.
The Umraut family, in addition to being wealthy and influential, is closely related to the royal line. They could halt my coronation and put forward their own candidate. The families that remain undecided are the key. They must back me. They will do so only once I've shown myself to be a strong candidate. And greatness is something I can achieve only here, at the center of events.
And in the process, steal a little fame from the Dragon Slayer of Vergen. I need royal blood.
As you know, I've yet to be crowned.
But blood of your royal ancestors flows through your veins.
True, but that doesn't mean I'll shed a drop for some vagabond. Are you a witcher or a vampire?
I need it to save Saskia.
I need you to live. Don't bother me with such audacious proposals.
Be well, Prince. You might be surprised, Prince, but I have more...
The famous think-collab...
Are you good?
Indeed. If the thought... And truly, I never thought... Get out!
Okay, now let's go visit Philippa.
So, you thought it over? I'm on my way to the recruiting station.
I don't know.
What's the consider?
Here to see the witch? You shouldn't have bothered. Only her servants inside.
Do you know where Philippa went?
Probably treating the Dragon Slayer. But our new allies won't let anyone in. Have a nice day, Witcher.
In the end, they end up
Okay, this was interesting. If you come to her right away after the War Council, you're gonna find Philippa at her house and she's gonna do something. So I'm gonna reload and show you that something. Okay, now this is right after the War Council, before we got out of Vergen and farmed harpies.
I don't know.
What? So, you thought it over? I'm on my way to the recruiting station.
I don't know.
What is it, Witcher?
Who is that girl?
Cynthia, a leashed sorceress.
A charming expression. Do you also use muzzles?
Leash means a connection between a sorceress and her assistant. An unfortunate term, I admit, but it explains how things are. Cynthia can tap my power, use my spells. She's a conduit. And she's learning along the way. It's convenient, and except for the name, not derisive at all. But you're not here to talk about Cynthia.
Okay, so this cutscene will probably get triggered only before you go to save Triss. Before you go and meet the trolls, save the female troll, and get thingy that belongs to Triss. It's probably connected to that quest.
Know how to remove a tattoo?
There's a cure for everything, except stupidity. I'll need some green mold, white myrtle petals, and wolf's aloe.
I'll be back once I've found the ingredients. A sorceress like you ought to know bundles about the wild hunt.
A sorceress's knowledge has nothing to do with superstitions.
The hunt's not a superstition.
True, the phenomenon seems to exist.
I want to know everything there is to know about it.
It's strictly atmospheric. It doesn't interest me. Just as whirlwinds, whirlpools, and snowfalls do not interest me.
Have you heard about a witcher's school? Apparently the Viper's their sign.
No, why do you ask?
The Kingslayer wears a medallion adorned with a viper.
Pretentious and childish for my taste. He can't be very smart.
Is what they say true? Did Saskia kill a dragon?
Prince Stennis decorated her for it at the court in Vengerberg, so it appears to be true. If you want to know the details, talk to Biggerhorn. Apparently he witnessed it.
How is it that King Radovid's court sorceress and advisor is supporting rebellion in Edirn?
This has grown into more than a simple rebellion, Witcher. Prince Stennis' arrival here confirmed Saskia's right to represent Edirn.
Saskia isn't fighting for Edirn, but for the Pontar Valley. Even Prince Stennis considers you rebels. He hasn't moved against you because war with Kedwen hangs by a thread. Why are you here, Sorceress of Tretogor?
It is my duty. If Henselt occupies the Pontar Valley, Redania and Temeria will respond strongly. The North will disintegrate, its unity gone. A dark scenario that is nevertheless avoidable, provided Saskia is successful and wins the Valley's independence.
Even if she thwarts Henselt, there'll be no independence without agreement from Redania and Temeria.
Temeria's expansionist plans melted away with Foltest's death. Redania's ruler is unpredictable, but even he'll have to respect a victory. I'm here to make this victory a fact. Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important.
Who are you?
I'm Cynthia, a mage in training. Philippa is my mentor.
My condolences.
No need for that. True, she's a demanding mistress, but she can also be charming. Besides, she's the best there is, Witcher. She has no equals, excepting perhaps the old elven sorceresses. You should see her cast spells. Light and graceful she is, not like that old tart de Tanzaville.
You know Sheila?
I've seen her cast spells. I've seen all the great sorceresses at work. Sheila's quite manly in her style. Precise, logical, exceptionally composed. But she lacks grace and suppleness.
Is that your opinion? Or are you just repeating what Philippa says?
We agree in our assessment. Triss Merigold, on the other hand, is talented. But she lacks determination, courage, and a certain cold willfulness that seems necessary.
That's interesting.
Kira Metz and Margarita Lo Antiel are both blasé, seemingly resigned. One's a hedonist and nymphomaniac, the other cares only about her school. They lost enthusiasm for magic long ago. Then there's Francesca Finderbear. Nobody really knows what the old she-elf is capable of. But she's clearly very powerful.
I take it Philippa has none of these flaws, but she must have some weakness.
Ambition. Infinite, boundless, and burning like the Korath Desert.
Just out of curiosity, how much does a magic course cost these days?
I'm certain you can't afford it, Witcher. Besides, you're too old.
No matter. I have a few of my own tricks as it is.
You mean Witcher's signs? Philippa can conjure up the illusion of a garden full of flowers, fruit trees, and young elves of both sexes copulating merrily all the day. And the illusion is complete. The flowers have an aroma. The fruit and she-elves are juicy.
Invite me over the next time she conjures up this garden. I'd gladly see it. Professional curiosity.
Naturally. But I doubt Philippa's in the mood for complicated illusions. She focuses all her efforts on Saskia.
You wanted to discuss something?
I'm looking for Triss. Letho forced her to teleport near Vergen.
Letho?
Foltest's killer, perhaps Demavend's too. Will you help me find her?
Certainly. We sorceresses must stick together. We have too many enemies.
Triss contacted you through Sheila de Tanzerville's megascope while in Flotsam.
And I haven't heard from her since.
Can you locate her?
A megascope responds to a person's aura. If I had something of hers, I could find her. You were close to her. Maybe you have something.
No, I don't have anything.
Not good. Wait. A local drunkard claims he saw a redhead fall out of the sky. This could be a lead.
I never heard of flying women before.
Perhaps they're just drunken delusions. It's possible, however, that an unstable teleport ejected Triss near the town.
As it's our only lead, I'll talk to this drunkard. Do you know him?
I'm not used to associating with drunkards, but you'll likely find him in the inn.
Thank you.
Come back as soon as you learn anything. You wanted to discuss something?
You said we'd need a magical object to cure Saskia. Any ideas where I might start looking?
Magical items do not grow on trees, as you know. Luckily, this area has a long history. There's the Battle of Wraiths, the site of Sabrina Glevisig's death and suffering, the abandoned mines.
I was hoping you'd be specific.
I won't ask you to traipse around with a divining rod, but please try to be a little inventive. Ask the locals, that's always a good place to start. I dare say Alderman Burden knows every last stone in the area. Maybe you should see him. You wanted to discuss something?
At the council, you mentioned artifacts were needed to undo the curse.
But I can't look for them now.
I can do that.
Why?
I have my reasons. Tell me something. What happened here 3 years ago?
Henselt attacked Edern, but met his match. Nobody won that war. Sabrina Glevisig got into a conflict with the commander-in-chief of the Kedweni forces, and this led to both armies being routed. Fireballs turned the battlefield into a flaming tomb. Henselt accused Sabrina of using a forbidden weapon.
And Sabrina cursed Henselt.
I think so. I suspect the curse got out of hand because of the circumstances.
Circumstances? The stars weren't right, wrong phase of the moon. There's always an excuse for simple bungling.
She placed the curse while burning at the stake. Her hands and feet nailed to a wagon wheel. I'd say she did a good job, considering.
Know anything about blood curses?
Do you?
We're dealing with a 4th-level curse, also known as the Curse of the Archmistress.
Well, well, I'm impressed.
Thing is, until now I thought it was only a myth, that such a curse couldn't be cast.
You thought wrong. There are 6 confirmed cases of this curse being inflicted.
What about confirmed cases of it being lifted?
1. Achieved by a team of sorcerers led by Archmistress Francesca Finderbear, hence the curse's other name. Sabrina Glevisig was on the team.
Small world.
That's not all. The curse investigated by Francesca and Sabrina was designed to end the Tyson dynasty, the rulers of Kovir. They were cursed by Scarlet Rodalega, a complete madman, but very talented. An eclipse and wraiths also accompanied his curse.
So Sabrina's curse is just a knockoff Rodalega?
Exactly.
Can Francesca's experience help us?
Certainly. I know the symbols and the workings of the curse thanks to her.
Care to explain? I'm the one risking my neck.
You'll have to relive the battle and change its course at the right moment. I don't know exactly what will happen. Nobody does.
Huh. I'll look for those artifacts. Did you notice? Not all the ghosts were aggressive.
Yes. Most just disappeared when they touched the aura of a living person.
I think the curse corrupts the ghosts of the fallen and turns them into draugrs.
Is that the Witcher's professional name for wraiths?
Draugrs are demons of war. They arise at sites of exceptionally vicious, bloody battles. Their bloodlust and hatred in condensed form.
Can you kill them by conventional means?
A silver sword is enough for a draugr, but as long as the curse remains active, new ones will arise. The soldiers' ghosts are the key. If I could turn the tide of the battle...
For that you'll need symbols of war belonging to those who fell in battle. Hatred, death, courage, and faith. All artifacts must be magically active and connected to the fallen, or they won't lure the ghosts.
Right. I'll look around.
Finding 2 will be enough. Get the symbols of hatred and death and leave the rest to me.
I'd prefer courage and faith.
Don't fuss.
I'll see what I can do. Cecil seems to know a lot about the area. I'm good for now. I'll let you know when I learn something.
You wanted to discuss something? Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important. You wanted to...
I'm looking for Triss.
Lether.
For
Sir.
Triss.
And I...
Can you...
Omega, you were...
No.
Not...
There are many redheads.
Perhaps they're just drunken delusions. It's possible, however, that an unstable teleport ejected Triss near the town.
As it's our only lead, I'll talk to this drunkard. Do you know him?
I'm not used to associating with drunkards, but you'll likely find him in the inn.
Thank you.
Come back as soon... You wanted to...
I'm looking for...
Letho?
Volta.
Sir.
Trisk.
And I...
Can you...
Omega, you were...
No.
Not...
Drunkards say all sorts of nonsense. One claimed his dog was writing poetry.
Perhaps they're just drunken delusions. It's possible, however, that an unstable teleport ejected Triss near the town.
As it's our only lead, I'll talk to this drunkard.
I'm not...
Thank you.
Come back as...
Okay, so that was it. Now let's return to our old save.
Who are you?
I'm Cynthia, a mage in training. Philippa is my mentor.
My condolences.
No need for that. True, she's a demanding mistress, but she can also be charming. Besides, she's the best there is, Witcher. She has no equals, excepting perhaps the old elven sorceresses. You should see her cast spells. Light and graceful she is, not like that old tart de Tanzaville.
Just out of curiosity, how much does a magic course cost these days?
I'm certain you can't afford it, Witcher. Besides, you're too old.
No matter. I have a few of my own tricks as it is.
You mean Witcher's signs? Philippa can conjure up the illusion of a garden full of flowers, fruit trees, and young elves of both sexes copulating merrily all the day. And the illusion is complete. The flowers have an aroma. The fruit and she-elves are juicy.
Invite me over the next time she conjures up this garden. I'd gladly see it. Professional curiosity.
Naturally. But I doubt Philippa's in the mood for complicated illusions. She focuses all her efforts on Saskia.
You know Sheila?
I've seen her cast spells. I've seen all the great sorceresses at work. Sheila's quite manly in her style. Precise, logical, exceptionally composed. But she lacks grace and suppleness.
Is that your opinion? Or are you just repeating what Philippa says?
We agree in our assessment. Triss Marigold, on the other hand, is talented. But she lacks determination, courage, and a certain cold willfulness that seems necessary.
That's interesting.
Kira Metz and Margarita Low Antiel are both blasé, seemingly resigned. One's a hedonist and nymphomaniac, the other cares only about her school. They lost enthusiasm for magic long ago. Then there's Francesca Finderbear. Nobody really knows what the old she-elf is capable of, but she's clearly very powerful.
I take it Philippa has none of these flaws, but she must have some weakness.
Ambition. Infinite, boundless, and burning like the Korath Desert.
I'm looking for Philippa.
She's looking after Saskia. They will not let anyone in there. I'm afraid you'll have to wait.
Okay, maybe this is affected by daytime. Nope. I want to believe that this is affected by something else and not Triss Marigold quest. What if we catch them during the night? Nah, it's the same. Okay, I guess we have no choice but to do... Should we do this quest? Yeah, let's do this one.
I would
These traps are so expensive. Let's just take them all.
Don't try anything.
Okay, so now we need to place harpy traps, so that harpies will take those traps into their nests and it's gonna go kaboom and it's gonna destroy it. Now don't put two traps at the same time. Wait for a confirmation about the nest being destroyed and then put another trap.
Die.
Like this. So that's one nest. That's 3. And there are actually 4 nests here. So you can't complete this quest fully until we progress further in the main story. And that's the last one.
Damn it!
And now we should go... We definitely need to go and do this quest.
Hello, Chief.
Let me tell you about the woman who fell from the sky.
Another one. Always in a hurry.
You let one human in and in no time you've got a swarm.
But we will continue this in the next episode, so if you like this one, give it a like, dislike if you think it sucked, and see you next time. Thank you.